Madam, please start.
Good morning to all the viewers, respected Additional Director Sir, Joint Director Sir, team members, principals, teachers, and dear students. Welcome you all to the Senior Intermediate Economics webinar sessions. I am Ranjita Logishetty, Principal, Telangana Model School, Nedumnur Mandal, Nalgonda District. Children, a state which has a population of 3.52 crores and which stands in the 12th place in terms of both area as well as the size of the population, and which has a glorious history of past of 2 million years old. Not only that, it has a megalithic stone structures, remnants of iron, smelting found at many places, which are the symbols or the facts that it has a flourishing civilization at around 2000 years back only. That state is none other than our Telangana state, which has 29, which was the 29th youngest state in India. It has a good revenue surplus because of the Hyderabad as its capital. The growth of the gross domestic product GSDP increases from 12% in 2014 and 15 to 12.6% by 2019 and 20. Whereas in India, the GDP, gross domestic product growth rate decreased from 7.8.5% to 7.5% in the same period. If we take the reference of ancient India, the Asta, uh, Astashaka of Janapadas, which is the 16 Janapadas in ancient India, and which shows the good civilization society at that period only, which is all the property or asset of the Telangana state. So let's learn the chapter 10, Telangana economy, from our today's presenter, Srimati T. Praveena, PGT Economics from Telangana Model School, Pudur, Vikarabad district. Madam is the state resource person for social digital classes, and she has a subject knowledge, enough experience for teaching in the teaching field. Let's welcome Praveena ma'am. Ma'am, now this session is all yours.
Thank you, ma'am. A warm welcome to webinar team members, principals, teachers, and students of Telangana Model School and Junior Colleges, and all the viewers of webinar sessions. I welcome you all to the intermediate second year economic webinar session. And in today's session, we will be learning about Unit 10, Structural Transformation of Telangana Economy. So children, what is this structural transformation? So it means that the reallocation of economic activities across all the three broad sectors, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. So we will see what is the contribution of these three sectors to the Telangana economy and how the Telangana economy has changed and what are the driving factors behind the structural transformation of Telangana. So children, the contents of today's session are, we will be learning about the Telangana state, newly formed 31st state of India, then the location of Telangana, the former Hyderabad state, Andhra state, historical events which led to birth of former AP, and what are the promises which were made to Telangana at the time of formation of AP, and the gross state domestic product and the sectoral growth rate in gross state value added of Telangana state, the various demographic features of Telangana, the agriculture sector in Telangana, industrial sector in Telangana, and the service sector in Telangana, and we will also learn about the tourism in Telangana state children. So children, we all know that the Telangana, so it is the 29th state of India, and it is formed on 2nd June 2014, and it was a part of Andhra Pradesh, which was formed in 1956. But after the end of the Nizam rule in 1948, the Hyderabad state, it was liberated and it was merged with the Andhra Pradesh. And several separate state protests were started in 1969, and violent protest, strikes, suicides, and many agitations were held in dedicated manner since 2001. So children, we'll see what is the location of this Telangana. So if you see the map here, see Telangana, it is bordered by Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh state in the north, and Karnataka state in the west, and Andhra Pradesh in the southeast. And this Telangana, it is located in Deccan Plateau in a semi-arid region, and the climate is hot and dry, and the geographical area of Telangana state is 1,14,840 square kilometers, and the population is 3.52 crores, and it is the 12th largest state in area and the size of population. And we all know that Hyderabad, it is the capital city of Telangana, and it is the fifth largest city in India. Now, children, we will see how the former Hyderabad state was. So we know that Hyderabad was a princely state and it was ruled by Nizams for more than 2 centuries. That is from year 1724 to 1948. So when India became independent on August 15, 1947, the ruler of Hyderabad state, he was Mir Usman Ali Khan. Okay, children. So he is the seventh Nizam ruler, and this person, he preferred to retain the state with himself only. So at that time, Hyderabad state, it remained as a separate unit. It was totally out of the Indian sovereignty. And during that period, there is an internal unrest. So there was an internal unrest made by the peasants' children, particularly. So these people, they revolted against the feudal rule children. So this revolt is known as Telangana armed struggle. So at that time, the government of India, it compelled Nizams for merging of Hyderabad state with the Indian Union. Okay, so with an intervention of public or a police action. Then so the merging of the state, this Hyderabad state, it took place on 17th September 1948 children. So in 1952, general elections were held and government was formed with Dr. Burgula Ramakrishna Rao. He was the chief minister of the Hyderabad, of the Andhra Pradesh state children. Now, children, we will see how the Andhra Pradesh state was formed. So we all know that this Andhra Pradesh state has been came into existence on October 1st, 1953, and it was a part of Madras state for a long time. And in that state, Telugu speaking people, they fought almost for a decade, children. Why? Because they want to have a separate state. Why? Because these people, the Telugu speaking people, they were shown lot of discrimination by the Tamilians, and these Tamilians, they were in majority in that state. So a struggle was continued and it became violent. And when Potti Sri Ramulu, so this person, he has gone for a hunger strike for 56 days, and the Andhra Pradesh state was liberated and it was formed in 1953, children. Now we'll see what are the historical events which led to the birth of former Andhra Pradesh state, children. So we are the leaders of Andhra state, they felt that their problems could be solved if Telangana region of Hyderabad state was merged with the Andhra Pradesh state so that they can form a Vishal Andhra state. So they want to have the mega capital city by moving to Hyderabad, and they want to utilize the all the revenues of the Telangana. You know, children, why? Because Telangana at that time it was having a surplus budget. Okay, so Andhra state, they want to get benefit by utilizing all these revenues, and they had a total control over the Krishna river and Godavari rivers which were flowing across the Hyderabad state, and there were many mineral wealth, especially the coal which is available in Telangana region. So these were all the events which led to the birth of the former Andhra Pradesh state, children. And there were many promises which were made at the time of formation of AP. So, the Gentleman's Agreement of 1956. Okay, so this is an agreement made by Hyderabad state and Andhra state, and or the All Party Accord of 1969, the 8-point formula and the 5-point formula of 1969 and 1970, and the judgment of Supreme Court of India, which was given in the year 1972, and the 6-point formula and the presidential order of 1974, and the GO 610 of 1958, and Girglani Commission report, children. So these were all the promises which were made by the leaders of AP to the leaders of Hyderabad, Telangana region people. So as a consequence of this, the Telangana region, it lagged behind, and there is a regional imbalances in all the levels between the Telangana and Simandra regions. And this situation, it was the main root cause for bringing lot of agitations, and it caused a lot of loss to the life of the people also, children. So from 1969, the people, they struggled a lot to have a separate Telangana state. And this was intensified. See, this agitation was intensified from the year 2009, and many agitations have taken place in form of mass strikes. See, many people have come and they've conducted strikes on the roads, and rail rokos were done, and the national highways were totally completely blocked, and there were strikes made by students, and the universities were closed, the educational institutions were also being closed, and open suicides were committed by many people, and Sakala Janula Samme, which was conducted by almost all the government employees, and the last is the hunger strike, which was made by uh, KCR, the Kalvakuntla Chandrasekhar Rao, and he has gone for a hunger strike, and at last the UPA government, it has declared the Telangana state as the 29th state, and the bifurcation and the formation of Telangana state was notified as 2nd June 2014, children. So after this bifurcation, 10 districts were under the region of Telangana, and 13 districts belong to Simandra region, children. Now, children, we will see what is the gross state domestic product. Okay, so what is gross state domestic product means? It is the volume of all the goods and services which are produced in a year within the geographical boundaries of a state without duplication. In simple words, the all goods and services which are produced within the boundaries of Telangana state in a particular year, children. And this GDP, it can be analyzed in two different ways. Okay, so the first method is we can see the growth in gross income at current prices and constant prices. And the second method is we can examine the sectorial contribution which is made to the gross state domestic product from all the three sectors, that is primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector, children. So this is the state GDP of Telangana, children, compared with all India gross domestic product. See, in 2011 and 12, the gross state GDP is 3.59 and the all India current prices are 87.36. And in 2018 and 19, the gross state GDP at current price is 9.69 and all India at current price is 203.8 children. So this is the gross state domestic product of Telangana compared with all India during the year 2011 and 12 and 2018 and 19. Now, children, we will see what is the annual average sectoral growth rate in gross state value added of Telangana state. So, children, the first sector is primary sector. So, the primary sector, it includes crops, livestock, logging, forestry, aquaculture means growing of rearing of fishes, mining and quarrying. So these are all the components of primary sector. And children, the second sector is, it is the secondary sector. So the secondary sector, it includes all the manufacturing activities which takes place and the electricity generation, the gas, the water supply, and the construction. So these are the components of secondary sector. And the tertiary sector, children, it includes the trade and repair centers, hotel and restaurant services, transportation services given by railways, roadways, waterways, and airways, and the storage and communication facilities, and the services which are related to broadcasting and the financial services and the real estate, the personal services and all the public administration services. So these are all the components of tertiary sector, children. So children, now we'll see, this is a table which gives the information about the sectoral contribution to gross state value added in Telangana. So in the year, if you look at this table, children, in the year 2011 and 12, in the year 2011 and 12, the sectoral contribution from primary sector is 19.6%, is 19.6%, and secondary sector is 27.6%, and tertiary sector is 52.8%. So it means that the contribution from tertiary sector is more compared to primary and secondary sectors. And children, if you take one more year, children, we'll see the what is the contribution made by these three sectors in 2015 and 16. See, the contribution made by primary sector is 17.5 and secondary sector is 20.3 and the tertiary sector is 62.2. So it means that the contribution made by primary sector has been reduced, children, and the contribution by secondary sector also has been reduced, and the contribution made by service sector, it has increased. And if you look at the year 2019 and 20 also, there is a fall in the contribution made by primary and secondary sector, and there is an increase in the contribution made by the tertiary sector. And now children, this is one more table which gives the information about the per capita income of state along compared with the all India. So children, what is per capita income? So if we divide the net state domestic product divided by the population of state in a year, we will get the per capita income of a state children. Okay, so if you observe this table, the Telangana per capita economy, per capita income in 2011 and 12 is 91,121, 121, and the per capita income of all India is 63,462. So it means that the per capita income of Telangana is more compared to all India. And if you take the data in the year 2019 and 20 also, children, see the per capita income of Telangana is almost 2,28,216, and the per capita income of all India is 1,34,432 rupees, children. So it means that the per capita income of Telangana is much more than the per capita income of India. And this per capita income of our state, it is growing much faster than all India per capita income, children. Now, children, we also have one more table. This is the per capita income of Telangana district-wise, children. Okay, so if you see this table, see the Rangareddy district. So this is topped in per capita income, and the second place is by Hyderabad, and Medchal Malkajgiri district is in the third position, and the lowest per capita income is from Mehboob Nagar district, children. Now, children, we'll see the demographic features of Telangana. So, if you look at this table, children, the total population of Telangana is 3 lakh. It is 3 crore, 3 crore, 50 lakh, 3,000 change, children. So this is the total population of Telangana. So in the year 1950, it was around 1.1 crore. And when it came to 2011, the population has increased to 3.52 crores, children. And out of 31 districts, see, out of 31 districts, Hyderabad district, it stands in the top with a 39.43 lakh population, and the least populated state is Kumaram Bhim. It is around 5.16 lakh children. Now, children, we'll see what is the population density in Telangana. So, what is population density? So, it means that the average number of people living per square kilometer area. So, in a square kilometer, how many people are living? So, that will tell about the population density. So, in Hyderabad is the most populated district. So it has 18,172 per square kilometer people are living, children. And it has the highly densely populated states. It has certain advantages, children. So what are the advantages is, see, these states, they will attract the industries. Many industries come forward to establish in these places, and it will help to increase, or it will facilitate for the development of infrastructural facilities. And education also will be educational facilities also will be provided in these areas. And it will also, and the banking facilities, children, so that will be provided in this densely populated areas. But along with advantages, there are certain disadvantages also. See, the people who are living in highly densely populated areas, they will have a housing problem. People don't find houses. If they find also, they have to pay. The cost of living will be more. They have a sanitation problem, and the water supply, children, that also it will be inadequate for them. And most of the people, what they'll do is they try to migrate to these cities from rural areas in search of works or jobs. So there is a possibility of formation of slums in these areas, and there are very less area for cultivation. And and this all leads to industrial pollution and environmental pollution, children. So the average annual growth rate of population, especially in these Hyderabad, it is around 1.4%, and all India is 1.84%. Now, children, will see what is child population. How many? Okay. So what? Who are child population means the children between 0 to 6 years. They are called as child. Okay. And the share of child population in the year 2001 is 14.2%, and in 2011 it is 10.5%. And see, if you observe this, the share of child population, it is reducing, children. See, from 14.2 it has come down to 10.5. So what are the reasons why there is a reduction in the child population? So the reasons may be like the people are educated, the literacy rate is increasing, and people are getting better jobs, and and they want to have more income. So for this, they have planned to have a very small family, children. So these are all the reasons for reduction in the share of the child population. And children, there are 38.99 lakh child population in Telangana state. Now we'll see what is the family size and the SC and ST population in Telangana. So, children, what is a family? So, family means a set of people living together and sharing common kitchen is called as a family. So, in Telangana, the average family size is 4.2, and the SC population is 15.45%, and the ST population is 9.8%. And children, the SC population is around 54 lakh 8,000, and the ST population in our state is 31 lakh 77,000, children. And we'll see what are the in which districts the highest population of SC and ST are there. See, the highest percentage of SC population are in Nalgonda district, and the lowest SC population are in Komaram Bhim district, children. And we'll see the highest percentage of STs in Telangana state. So it is in Bhadradri Kottagudem district, and the lowest population or lowest percentage of STs are in Jogulamba Gadwal district, children. And the growth of population in urban areas, it is very low compared to rural areas. So what are the reasons why more people are there in urban areas in rural areas compared to urban areas? So why? Because the reasons are, it may be high rate of literacy and education. So this has compelled them to have a very small family. So more people have opted for family planning. So these are the reasons for the growth of population in urban areas is less than the rural areas, children. Now, we'll see what is the sex ratio in Telangana. So what is meant by sex ratio? It means that the number of females per thousand male population. So in Telangana, the sex ratio is 988. It means that there are 988 females per 1,000 males. And in India, there are 948 females per 1,000 males, children. Now we'll see what is the share of migrants. Okay, so who are migrants, children? Who are migrants means, see, the people who come to come and stay in our state, they are called as migrants. So there is a growth in urban population, especially in our state, children. So what is the reason? What is the reason means, see, many people, we observe that many people, they migrate from other states. They come, they want to live in our Telangana. So many people have come from Andhra and other states. So this is the reason why there is a growth in the urban population. And the migrants from 1961 to 2011 are 62 lakh people have come as migrants to our Telangana. And you know, children, Rangareddy district, this is top. Okay, it is top in migrants. Why? Because see, most of the it is near to the Hyderabad state. Okay, so when the towns and suburban areas nearby Hyderabad they develop, so these are the reasons for the urbanization of Rangareddy. With almost 70% people they live in towns only. Now, children, we will see the what is the agriculture, how the agriculture sector is in Telangana. So the total geographical area in Telangana is agricultural land is 112.8 lakh hectares, and the gross cropped area is 60.58 lakh hectares, and the forest area it is 26.98 lakh hectares, and 8.34 lakh hectares it is used for non-agricultural purpose. And the fallow land, children, fallow land means it is not used for any purpose, it is not used for agricultural purpose. So that land is of 15.78 lakh hectares, and 5 lakh hectares is of permanent pastures, children. Now we all know that Telangana state has a rich resources, like it has good diversified soils, and these different types of soils it leads to diversified cropping pattern. And there are rivers like Krishna and Godavari which flow across our state, and the soils are suitable for growing various types of crops like food grains, oilseed, pulses, orchids. So all these are grown in our soil. And we also have agriculture related institutions. We have research institutions which help for the prosperity of agriculture in our Telangana state. So they are Indian Council of Agriculture Research and International Crop Research Institute for Semi-Arid Tropics. It is ICRISAT. Now we'll see, children, what are the food crops and cash crops which are grown in Telangana state. So the food crops grown in Telangana state are rice, jowar, red gram, green gram, and maize. And people also grow cash crops like cotton, chilies, turmeric, soya bean, groundnut, sugarcane, and palm oil. So, children, if you see in the year 2017 and 18, the food crops they are grown in 4.53 lakh hectares, and non-food crops are grown in 23.45 lakh hectares. And the share of food grains in total cropped area in the year 2001 and 2 is 70.8%. And when it come to 2018 and 19, the share of food grains had been reduced, children. See, it is only 61.2% area was brought under agriculture, children. So among all these food grains, the majority of the food grains grown are paddy, cotton, and maize, children. So this constitute about 74% of the total cropped area in our Telangana state. Now we'll see what is the operational land holding. Okay, so children, what is meant by operational land holding? So operational land holding means all the land which is used for agricultural production, which can be operated by a single person or which can be operated by taking the help of the others also. So based on this operational land holding, the farmers are categorized into marginal farmers, small farmers, medium farmers, semi-medium, and large farmers, children. So the farmers who are having land up to 2.5 acres are called as marginal farmers. And the farmers holding land from 2.5 to 5 acres are called as small farmers, and 5 to 10 acres land farmers are called as semi-medium farmers, and the farmers who are having 10 to 25 acres of land they are called as medium farmers, and large farmers, children. So these farmers they will be having the land above 25 acres. And if you see the average size of operational holding in our Telangana state, it is 1 hectare children, or it is 2.4 acres in the year 2015 and 16. And the operational land holding size of the marginal and small farmers constitute 80% of the total holdings. It means that majority of the land holdings are of marginal and small farmers only. And we'll see what are the agricultural sector flagship programs which are taken up by the Telangana Telangana government. So the first program is Raitu Bandhu. So this is a welfare program which is being undertaken by the Telangana government to support the farmers by providing investment for 2 crops in a year, children. So till now it has provided 58.33 lakh farmers. They have been given like 5,000 rupees per acre per season in order to support the for the investment. So this program, it was launched on 10th May 2018. So for what purpose this money is given is they can buy the inputs. They can buy the inputs like seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and other investment purpose also they can use this money. Okay. And see, earlier it was 4,000 rupees per acre, but during the 2019 and 20, this amount has been enhanced to 5,000 rupees per acre per season, children. So the farmers, they will be getting 10,000 per year for 1 acre. And then, children, another program which was introduced for the farmers, development of farmers, is Raitu Bima. So this is a, we all know that agriculture in Telangana has very poor productivity, and production is also very less. Why? Because there is a frequent occurrence of droughts, and the investment made by the farmers is also very, very poor because they have a very low capacity. Okay. So, and most of the farmers are small and marginal farmers. So keeping all this in view, in order to provide economic and social security to the farmers, the government of Telangana, it has implemented this scheme called Raitu Bima. So the main objective of this scheme is, in case of death of any farmer due to any reason, children, so their families, they will be suffering, they have with a very financial problem, no? So at that time the government, it will provide 5 lakh insurance, and that money will be deposited in the account of the nominees within the 10 days. And the person, he should be between 18 and 59 years. Then the industrial, will see how the industrial sector is there in Telangana state, children. So we all know that Telangana is a home for many large and manufacturing industries. So there are bulk drug industries, pharmaceutical industries, many agro processing industries. We have cement industries, and mineral based industries are also available in Telangana. And textile and apparel industries are also there, and horticulture and poultry. So these are the major industries which are there in Telangana state. So this the Telangana state, it has the 6th rank in terms of industries, and 8th rank in terms of gross value added. The contribution to gross state value added at current price in 2018 and 19, it is 17.4%, and in 2019 and 20, it is 18.7%, children. And the number of industries in Telangana state in the year 2008 and 9, there were 7,357 industries, and in the year 2015 and 16, there are 12,353 industries. And along with this, We also have micro, small, and medium enterprises in Telangana. See, these enterprises, they will provide complementary products to the big, large industries which are existing in Telangana state, and means they will act like an ancillary units. Okay, and these industries, they will provide, they will be scattered in almost all the regions of our state, and this will help for the regional balanced development of the state children. And these industries, they also provide employment opportunities to many number of workers. See, with this, why? Because by establishing this kind of small scale and medium industries, it can be run with very low capital also. The capital cost will be less, and the we can also utilize the unskilled workers also. Means there is no need of using only skilled workers. So if there is a unskilled worker or low skilled worker also, they can be given employment opportunities by in these sectors. Okay, so in 2015 and 16, there were 8,435 units, and the investment was around 11,847 crores. And the employment opportunities these industries have provided was, it have given employment to 1.5 lakh workers. And the share of micro industries is 58% of total units, and the investment share is 11.92%, and the employment share which is given by these small and micro industries is 30.12%. So it means that the small and marginal industries are also very important in our Telangana state children. Now, a new industrial policy of Telangana, it was framed in 2014. So this was introduced in 2014, and the vision of this policy, new industrial policy, is industrialization of state by research to innovation, innovation to industry, and industry to prosperity. So they mean that, so if we make a research that leads to innovation, means new techniques will be formed, and that will be helpful for increase in the production in the industry. And when industries are increased, that leads to prosperity of the state. And this new industrial policy, it was driven by a slogan called, in Telangana we innovate, incubate, and incorporate the innovation and the technology which will help for increasing the industries of Telangana state. So with this, the it has increased the contribution of the workforce in the Telangana economy. So there are some industrial programs which are introduced by Telangana government for the benefit of industries children. So the first one is TS IPAS. Okay, so this TS IPAS Act, this was introduced in the year 2014. Okay, see, if any person want to establish an industry or set up an industry, see, he has to get a lot of clearances certificates from many departments. Okay, and he has to get approval, his application has to, he has to get approval from many departments. So all this will be done at a single place. So this approval is based on self certification, and almost 23 departments clearances will be done at a single place, and they have a common application form, and many attachments were there children earlier. So almost 110 attachments were reduced to 10 attachments, and the timelines, different timelines were given for the clearances. So here there is an assurance that all these clearances will be done within 1 to 30 days. And these industries, they are having a chasing cell children. Okay, so this chasing cell, it is created in the office of CM office, and this is headed by principal secretary, and he will monitor all these major projects children. And if any officer the applicant, no, he can know if there is any delay. He can know what is the reason why there is a delay in getting the approval of his industry, and there is a grievance redressal mechanism also. See, if they want to give any complaint, so they can complain over here. And if any officer, if he fails to give any clearance within the time limit, children, okay, so they can be imposed a penalty of 1,000 rupees per day. So this is about this is a scheme which has been enacted by Telangana government. Then we'll see what is the service role of service sector in Telangana economy. So we all know that the as state economy develops, there is a transformation from agrarian economy and service sector. It is also growing very fast than industrial sector, children. So it means that there is a structural shift in the economy. So we'll see what are the sectors which are included in service sector, children. So what are the subsectors are? See, the trade, hotels, transport, communication, banking, insurance, real estate, tourism and hospitality, the information technology and related services, and all the financial services, the education, health, public administration departments. So all these are the subsectors which are included in service sector. Now we'll see what is the contribution made by this service sector to the Telangana economy. So the contribution to gross state value added at constant price in the year 2018 and 19 is 64.5%. Means the majority of the share is given by service sector only. Now we'll see the IT and ITS sectors in Telangana. So what is this? The information technology and information technology enabled services. Many are there in our Telangana state. So this state, it holds a very leading position in information technology and IT enabled services. So when there is a change in the technology, the IT sector, it also has given rise to new opportunities, new job opportunities, children. See, like big data analytics, cyber security, cloud computing, animation, and gaming. So these job opportunities have increased by the IT sector. And we all know that Hyderabad is one of the leading IT hubs globally. And as of 2020, there are 6 lakh employees who are working in IT and IT related sectors, and there are 1500 IT and IT enabled service companies in Telangana. And the IT exports, see, the exports is around uh, 1 crore 1 crore 28 lakh, so much of worth crores rupees is being exported related to information technology. And the contribution of IT to countries export, it is around 11%, children. And Hyderabad rank is second rank out of for the total revenue it gets. So there are certain important initiatives which are taken by information technology and information technology enabled services. They are, first one is, children, it is image tower, children. So what is this image tower? So this image tower, it is established to encourage the innovations in gaming or in animations or in multimedia or media entertainment. So this tower, it is been established in an area of 10 acres. It is located in Raidurgam village. It is in Rangareddy district, and the project cost is around 1,000 crores, children. So this project, it was developed with the help of a public private partnership model. Then another initiative made under information technology, by Telangana government is Telangana Fiber Grid, children. So what is this Telangana Fiber Grid? So this is the project which is initiated in the year 2015, and this T-Fiber project, it aims to connect every household and government institutions and private enterprises across the whole state with high speed internet connectivity. So it want to provide internet connectivity to all the household, all government and private enterprises. So till now, this T-Fiber has provided more than 47 lakhs of internet connections to household, and more than 1 lakh fiber uh, uh, facilities are being given to public and private enterprises. Okay, and this T-Fiber, it will facilitate to have a digital Telangana. Now, children, electronic service delivery. So this is also another nice project which is being introduced by Telangana government. So this is this is a service. This is given like to provide government services through internet or other electronic means. So it provides delivery of almost more than 550 services of 38 departments through multiple channels like Me Seva, T Wallet, and T App. It means that all the government services are provided through internet and electronic means. So what are these? What are this means? The very much familiar with this Me Seva. Me Seva means at your service. Okay, so the all the citizens of Telangana state, they can avail all the facilities given by all the services given by departments, various departments. Then T wallet, children. T wallet means, see, we can do money transfers through this. We can make all the digital payments, both government and private services. Like we can pay electricity bill, water bill, and we can mobile recharge. All this can be done through T wallet. And we also have a T app, children. So T app means like anytime, anywhere mobile service. It will deliver all the services given by government departments. So if you want to if you want to have an apply for anything, you can apply, and you can receive the certificates like income certificate, birth certificate, death certificates, everything we can get through, we can apply and we can get through this TAP, children. So these are the services which are provided by the Telangana state. Then another we have another is task, children. So the government of Telangana has created a unique institution called Telangana Academy of Skill and Knowledge. So this task or this institution is established to develop a skilled workforce in information technology and information technology enabled services. So not only that, it will also provide workforce related to banking, financial services, and this is a non-profit organization, children. This is in partnership with the government and academia and industry. Now with children, we'll see the Telangana tourism. So Telangana State Tourism Development Corporation, it is a state government agency which promotes tourism in Telangana. The tourist attractions include like historical places, monuments, forts, waterfalls, forests, and temples. So these are the places which will attract the tourist, children. So we'll see all these tourism places in Telangana in detail, children. So the first one is Salajang Museum. So the Salajang Museum, it is located in Telangana. It is located in Hyderabad. So it is one of the national museum in India. So it is a private art collection of Salajang family. See, after the death of Salajang III, uh, this was taken away by the government. And the Salajang three person, he has served as a prime minister for Hyderabad state during the Nizam rule. And this person, he has collected various artifacts from across the world. And this Salajan Museum was inaugurated by PM Nehru, the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru in the year 1951. Then another tourism place, children, it is Chowmahalla Palace. So this Chowmahalla Palace, it is a palace of Nizams, and it was an official residence of Nizams of Hyderabad, and all the ceremonial functions, including the accessions of the Nizams, they were held in this palace only, children. And the next one is Kuli Qutub Shah tombs, Qutub Shahi tombs. So this Qutub Shahi tombs, it consists of various tombs and mosques. So it was built by the kings of Qutub Shahi dynasty, and this is located in Ibrahim Bagh, near to Golconda Fort in Hyderabad, children. Then the next tourism place is Nehru Zoological Park. So this zoological park, it is open to public on October 6, 1963. And this park is run by the Forest Department. And this park, it is named after the first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. And this park, it consists of more than 100 species of birds, animals, and reptiles. The next one is children, it is Charminar. So Charminar, see, it is a monument with the 4 minarets. So this is constructed in the year 1951. It is a monument and a mosque, okay, and it is incorporated. See, this Charminar, it is incorporated as an emblem of our Telangana. The 5th ruler of Kuli Qutub Shah dynasty, he has this he has constructed this. Means this Charminar is named by his name. Okay, he has built in the year 1951. And next one is children, it is Taramati Baradari. So this is a Persian style garden which was built during the rule of Ibrahim Kuli Qutub Shah. So he was the 4th Sultan of Golconda. So at that time, he was having a courtier called Taramati. She was a Kuchipudi dancer. Okay, so in the name of her, he has named her name to this garden, children. So this is also very famous. Then next one is children, Lumbini Park. So this Lumbini Park, officially it is called as T. Anjaya Lumbini Park. This is adjacent to Hussain Sagar. It is located in Hyderabad. And we have a Buddha idol also, which is placed in the middle of Tank Bund. And the speciality of this Lumbini Park is multimedia fountain show will be played daily. See, the laser animation, live video, rhythmic musical fountains, all will be portrayed on one of the largest water screens in India. The next one, children, it is NTR Gardens. So it is a small urban park which is nearby the Hussain Sagar Lake, and it is built in memory of our late Chief Minister of unbifurcated AP, N.T. Ramarao. The next, in a 5 acre of land, his memorial was erected in this entire garden. Next one, children, it is Golconda Fort. So the earlier capital city of Kuli Qutub Shah dynasty was this Golconda, and Golconda Fort was first built by the Kakatiyas, and this is also located in Hyderabad. And the next tourism place is Laknavaram Lake. So this Laknavaram Lake is located in Govindarao Pet Mandal near the Warangal, children. So it is built by Kakatiya kings, and it has almost 160 meters long hanging bridge over here. And this long bridge, it connects 3 islands, and it is totally covered by thick forest. And this is also very nice place to visit. And next one is Ramoji Film City, children. So this is certified as a world's largest film studio complex by the Guinness World Record. It is located in Hyderabad and it is spread around 2000 acres, and it is a film studio complex. This is built by Telangana film producer Ramoji Rao in the year 1996. The next children, it is Kaleshwaram project. So Kaleshwaram project, it is one of the largest multi-purpose irrigation project on Godavari River in Kaleshwaram. This is in Bhupalpalli district. So on June 21, 2019, this project was opened by Governor Narasimhan and KCR. And this project, it is meant for irrigation and drinking purpose. And the cost of this project is almost around 1 lakh crores, children. And the next one is Nizam Palace. So this palace, it is also called as Falaknama Palace. So this is located in Hyderabad. Originally, this palace, it belongs to Paiga family, but later it was owned by Nizams, and it was built by Nawab Sir Vikarul Umra. Okay, he was the Prime Minister of Hyderabad state. So Falaknama means like the sky. Okay, so they used uh, this palace. This palace was leased by Taj Group of Hotels, and now it is used as a host as a guest house for host. And recently, the Ivanka, the daughter of Trump, Ivanka and Narendra Modi, even they have visited this palace, children. Then Basara Temple. So Basara Temple, this is located in Nirmal district on the banks of Godavari River at Basara. So it is very famous for Basara Saraswati Temple. So most of the people, what they'll do is they bring their children for this temple for learning ceremony, which is also called as Akshara Abhyasam. Then another tourist place is Nagarjun Sagar. So Nagarjun Sagar Dam, this is built across the Krishna River at the Nagarjun Sagar. So this is in the border between the Guntur district and Nalgonda district. So this is the world's largest masonry dam, which is protected with 26 gates, children. And this dam, it provides irrigation to almost 9.81 lakh acres of land, and this is the first irrigation project which was started by the Indian government as an element of green revolution. And not only it provides irrigation facilities, it is also a source of hydro electricity. And next one, children, it is Bogota waterfall. So this Bogota waterfall, it is located in on a Chikupalli stream. So this is in Vajedu in Mulugu district, children. So this is the second largest waterfall in Telangana region. So people call it as Telangana Niagara waterfalls. Then another tourism place is Yadadri Temple. So this Yadadri Temple, it is located on a hillock of Yadgiri Gutta. This is located in Yadadri, Bhuvanagiri district, children. So it is an abode of Narasimha, Lord Narasimha, and an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So people, it is a religious tourism place. So children, till now we have seen all the tourist places in Telangana region. So with this, what happened is there is an increase in the number of tourists to Telangana state. So in the year 2014, 7.24 crores people have visited our state. Then in 2019, the number of tourists has increased to 9.32 crores, children. So children, I hope you all have understood the lesson properly. So please make a note of all these points, and you also refer your textbook also. So let us have recollect what we have learned in today's session, children. So children, we have learned what is the location of Telangana state and how the former Hyderabad state was being formed, And we also have learned about the how the Andhra state has come into existence, and what are the events which led for the birth of Andhra Pradesh state, and there were very various promises which were made to Telangana people at the time of formation of Andhra Pradesh, and how the Telangana state came into existence. This all we have learned. And we also have learned about the gross state domestic product, the sectorial growth rate in Telangana state, contributing by primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. And we also have learned about the various demographic features of Telangana. And we also have studied about the agriculture sector and the various flagship programs which are undertaken by the Telangana government for the development of agriculture, and what is the how the industrial sector is there in Telangana, and what are the programs or the policies initiated by the Telangana government. And we also have learned about the various service sectors which are provided by Telangana sector, and how it is contributing to the employment opportunities, and what are the various policies which are undertaken under the service sector. And we also have learned about the various tourism places which are very important for us to visit, and many people they come to visit these places. So we have learned about the Telangana tourism places also, children. So children, there are few questions. You please try to answer these questions. These questions they will come for you in the IPE. Explain the sectoral growth rate trends of Telangana economy. Second question, discuss the various tourist places in Telangana. And third question, children, explain the industrial development in Telangana. Thank you, children.
Pravina ma'am, really it was a very enlightening session about Telangana state. Children, I hope you all have understood about the Telangana state. It has long been a meeting place for the diverse languages and cultures. It is also known as the South of North and North of South. It is also known as the Ganga Jamuna Tehzeeb, that is the capital of Hyderabad, is also called as the miniature India. Telangana state's main agenda was to ensure a greater welfare of the people, and Madam has given us a very detailed explanation about the content of the state of Telangana, about the tourism, about the business, about the GDP, and so on. Hope children, you all have jotted out the points and got a clear knowledge about our state. Thank you, Pravina ma'am. Thank you, Shailaja ma'am, viewers, for making this session successful. Meet you all in your next session. Take care. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.